More Swedish death maintenance. So when I built my house, this was dirt back here. Well, it was grass, but the grass soon died because it didn't get any sun. It was also a big tree right here, sweet gum, a gumball tree, and it got kind of close to the house. I should have cut it before I built the house, but I didn't. But we had some guys come cut it out. So then we had some stumps and some rotten roots, and the water comes through here like a banshee when it rains. It drains our backyard, and it drains 3 houses on the other street. And these pipes, shut up. Oh yeah. These pipes will come out. Surcharge, solid water comes shooting out of here. And I can't do anything about it because that was the way the property drained before we got here, so you can't change drainage. That's my understanding. Anyway, so a couple of years back, maybe 5, I hired a guy with a mini hose before I had one. He dug this out at a slope, and I had concrete placed. So now the concrete drains, everything's lovely, except Ruby, bless her heart, the little girl who loves glitter and fairies, loves to play with these pavers. They're hard, they're heavy as all get out, and I'll stack them out of the way so the water can run by, and she'll come and spend 2 hours back here just messing around and building stuff out of these pavers. Anyway, what are you gonna do? So when the mini hoe guy was here, he broke my siding. It's been broken for a long time. I'm gonna get rid of this peel and paint louver and replace it in kind with a cedar louver. I think I have some cedar. This 6x6, I don't think it's rotten. It looks kind of nasty. These 2x4s are starting to rot, and this is definitely rotten because I remember when I hung the door, I had trouble with it being getting it to stay put. This one's rotten. Now I got these big posts. I got this 4x6. I got this 6x6. I got this as a 6x7. It's kind of weird. And this is a 6x6, and they hold up. More 6x6s, and what do they hold up? Nothing. The sheet metal roof here, it's screwed from the bottom into the soffit on this end, and it's got some screws on the outside edge. So there's like no weight on this thing at all. I don't know why I use these heavy timbers, probably because I had them. Yeah, so shortly after I built the house, we realized that we didn't have enough storage. I added this little slab. I think it's about 4 feet from here to here, and we closed it in. Closed it in with these big timbers, framed it with these big timbers, and then it doesn't even have rafters or ceiling joists or anything. It has sheet metal going from one side to the other, so it's like super overkill, but that's the way I did it. So that added slab gave us room for not only my shower, but a second fridge and a couple of closets for bicycles and other stuff. Well-needed storage space. So I'm gonna take this out. I'm gonna try to reuse it. I'm gonna throw these away, and I'm gonna cut out the bad parts of this, patch this together. I went to Home Depot yesterday and purchased a piece of siding. It was damaged. I got it cheap, and I got in there and I already had some siding. So, story of my life. I got 2 of everything at least. Yeah, let's get in there and get after it. My cat's kind of neurotic this morning. I think she's got catnip or something. So I cut this piece of siding back to the existing stud from the inside with the random orbital tool. It did pretty good. And then I came on the outside and cut this last little bit. And I did the same with this one. And then when I was trying to get this one out, I chipped the one above it. So I had to do another one back to here. Now after I cut them flush, I added a sleeper, or whatever you want to call it, a nailing strip, and screwed it to the existing stud. So now I can, I'm gonna put little pieces of black plastic between the joints and cut my material. Now that 1x is rotten, but I'm gonna leave it for right now because that will let me stop all my my siding in the same spot. Now in order to keep from breaking this one, I took a nail set and punched the nails all the way through so that I could get this piece of siding out without breaking anything, and that worked okay. I just got big holes I gotta punch. So I'm gonna take these measurements, I'm gonna go cut these in the shop, and it's just as soon that I did buy some more because I wouldn't have had enough, and find a suitable nail. And I probably might even pre-drill them. I don't think I pre-drilled these, but I I can't afford for another one to crack. All right, that phase is done. Got the boards up, I got them caulked. I actually drilled holes for the nails because I was scared about them cracking. And but anyway, it's done. So now I'm going to check out this post. I think it's absolutely fine, but if it is, I'm gonna take it out and turn it over because this end has not had to fight bacteria or mold for, I guess, close to 20 years, and this end has. So if it's just swap it around, maybe we can get another 20 years out of it, maybe. What's it called? Update. I want to do an update on where I am. So this 6x6 post is definitely rotted at the bottom. They're $40, so I'm probably not gonna run out and buy one. I'm gonna do something else. And it was in a bad situation. It was sitting in this corner, and that's my shower. So probably whatever I do, I'll probably either fill that in with some concrete or something so it won't be sitting in a hole. This corner was one piece of treated, which kind of rotted at the bottom because it was sandwiched behind the louver boards. And this piece was a piece of, looks like treated pine, and it did okay. It was kind of wearing at the bottom. I'm gonna replace it. And the two boards that held the louvers together were old cypress, which I always brag on, and it is not rotten, not one little bit. And the louvers weren't rotten, they were just nasty. So I'm gonna take this to the shop, kind of do some exploring, see how much I got to take off of it. Maybe I can just raise this concrete pad a little bit, or put, I don't know what's holding everything up right now, or put another layer of boards up top to make up for it. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna go ahead and get a broom, clean up what I got, and so I can find a piece for this and this and go ahead and put that back on. And I kind of surprised myself by putting plastic under this corner. I didn't know I did such good work back then, but yeah, making progress. Okay, so I made a very quickie little form. It's very marginal, but I think it'll hold. It's held in place by a double nail here and a drilled hole. A double nailed here and a drilled hole. I put some stainless steel nails in the bottom and wedged them with littler nails in 1/4-inch holes that I drilled. And that's not so much for uplift, but just to keep the block where it's supposed to be. So I just mixed up some of this fast set concrete. We're gonna put it in the hole. We'll be able to set post tomorrow if it's not raining. Okay, next morning, concrete's hard. Let's see what it looks like without the forms on it. I gotta have one more screw, maybe I have two more screws. So I set these little galvanized angle brackets into the wet concrete with some long stainless steel screws, and that will help keep the post from wandering around, although I don't think it would try to do that anyway. But I had the bracket, so we put them in there. All right. So I just put my jack in there, and with very little effort, I lifted it up about 3/8 of an inch so that I can more easily get the new post in and have some weight on it. So it's gonna be 77 and 5/8. I'm gonna go make that. Okay, 77 and 5/8 to my little block that I'm gonna add onto the bottom to get rid of this rot. It means I need to cut it right here, and then we'll screw it together and go stand it up. And again, this is not really structural, kind of is. I could replace this with a 1 2x4, and it's a 6x6, so I'm not worried about the joint. Has no uplift capacity. It's just there to have something to fix the louvers to. Rotten bottom removed, new bottom put on with some 4-inch screws. And this may be the top. I'm not sure which way I'm gonna put it. This is the original post, and I trimmed the top off, and it's like perfect. So I might put this at the bottom. I don't know how old this is. It was in my shed as dunnage on the ground. So yeah, this may be the top. All right, new patched up post set. It's barely sitting there. Let's take the jack off and put a little bit of weight on it so it'll stay put. this 2x4 is gonna hit me in the head. I'll try to catch it. There we go. Okay, so the new post is set. It has, darn it, it has no weight on it. So I pushed up this 6x6 with a jack and it didn't come back down. It's a little disappointing, but when I put some screws in it, it'll be all right. So I replaced this one yesterday. Now I need to find one to put here, and then I can measure between these two and we can fabricate our louvers and put them back up. And then I'm free to take showers again. And then we can figure out what we're gonna do with this mess. This is a whole nother thing right here. So I ripped a piece of old 5/4 decking to cover up that corner, and our measurement across is 31 1/8, pretty consistently. So I'm gonna make it 31. There's no sense in trying to jam it in there too tight because it doesn't do much. And I started caulking this inside joint because once the louvers are up, it's not accessible. This is mostly to keep the bugs from having super highway inside and out. They're gonna get in anyway because it's all open, but caulking it anyway. So it's all good. We're gonna go make the louver unit complete, modular, and bring it out here and put it in place. The only thing I'm gonna change is I'm gonna keep the bottom up a little bit higher off the ground than it was before, because when I take a shower, I invariably drop the soap at least once, and it invariably scoots out over here. So you'll be in the shower kneeling on the floor trying to reach under the louver to get the soap, and that's no good. So you put the bottom up higher. I don't care if anybody looks at my naked feet. So I got a length here for the louver. And if I hook my tape and pull it to the double side pieces, I get right at 31. I can't really squish it with my hand. Let's see. Yeah, 31. So that length is good. So I got a stop block here for that length. Now all I need to do is cut. Originally we had 19 slats. I want it higher off the ground, so that's 18. These are quite a bit thicker, so I'm gonna cut 17 and see how that works out. I can always cut a couple more, I think. Now the geometry of the original slats was good, so I'm gonna reproduce it. This is 2 1/4. From here to here should be 5 1/2. And only thing I'm gonna do differently is these were cypress, and cypress behaves. It doesn't twist and split and all that crud. And these are treated pine, and they're not gonna stay put. So I'm gonna put another little block right in the middle. It's gonna take a little more time to get all that stuff nailed straight and everything, but I'm afraid if I don't, you're gonna have one warped up high, one warped down low, one twisted. It's not gonna be very aesthetically pleasing. So start ripping these up, and I need, I don't know, what, 60 of them, thereabouts, maybe a few less. Okay, I got one slat in, and it was a battle because this stuff is so twisty. I'm spoiled by messing with this cypress, which knows how to behave. Anyway, so I got it nailed. I'm gonna flip it over. I think I'm gonna have to work from the other side, or I don't know, I might have to keep flipping it to be able to get, yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. But anyway, I got 2 nail guns. I got one with longer nails to shoot here, 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 and here, 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 and I got one with shorter nails to shoot here. I got a bunch of pieces cut, not enough, but some to get started. Let's see what happens. Okay, kind of getting the hang of it. It won't be too bad. Okay, it's done. I was able to get most of the crookedness out. I think it's gonna be all right for an outdoor shower. Let's go cross our fingers and see if it's gonna fit. I've got an umbrella in my yard. It's a big one. My neighbors have a pool. I can only assume it got launched over the wall by the wind. Okay, the louvers are up. Look, they look all right. The post that should be holding up the louvers really holding up the post because it doesn't have any weight on it. But anyway, I guess it'll sag down one day. I still need to put screws in the little clips to anchor the bottom tight. And next is this post. This one's going to be a little more challenging. I guess, maybe not. I don't know how rotten it is. I have to take off the door and see. Okay, new day. Time to get this post down and see what I need to do to make it stable. So I'm going to take the door off, put it to the side, and take my same little jack and my same 2x4 and lift up on this a little bit and get the nail puller and see if I can't get this post down. So I've got my little jack set up. I got the weight off of it. I can wiggle it, but it still won't move. So there must be a fastener left. I don't know if it's this one. I guess it could be that one. It also could be one behind this 2x4. Let me see if I can get that one out. And if not, then I'll take this 2x4 off because I probably got to throw this one away anyway. It wasn't on, but I broke it. Okay, so what I'm hoping, I don't always get what I hope for. I'm hoping is I can cut 2 or 3 inches off the bottom of this column and pour another little concrete pad like I did over there and put it right back up with a new 2x4 on the side. If that's the case, I won't even have to relocate the hinges. They'll stay in the right spot. Let's bring it out to the shop, get that other 2x4 off, and take a close look at it. Concrete block I poured earlier was 3 inches tall, so I thought if I poured this concrete block 3 inches tall, cut 3 inches off the bottom, and if the wood was good, I'd be set. And look at that, pretty much like brand new. And the reason is, this was creosoted. I could smell it when I cut it on the miter saw. And there's not very much left, but enough. So, this post is done. I'm gonna put it right back, but I need a 3-inch plinth block or riser or whatever you want to call it. And I can't because right now it's 39 degrees. It's supposed to be 29 in the morning and not very warm tomorrow. So you can't pour concrete in temperatures that low. So I'm kind of stuck. I'm kind of stuck right now. So driving these little nails, these little mild steel nails next to these stainless steel nails looks kind of lame, but you might be surprised at how well these things hold. I mean, I wouldn't hang swing from them or anything, but they're not just going to come out the ground. They're not going to come out the ground when I place the concrete. They're not going to come out the ground when I place the anchors. They're not coming out the ground. Okay, I got the slab roughened up. I got those stainless steel nails in there for anchors. Not really for uplift, but just to keep the thing from wandering off. And I think I'm just going to weigh this down with bricks. But again, I can't pour. It's going to be too cold. It may be a few days before I can pour. So I'm a concrete guy. In my formal occupation, I've poured thousands and thousands of yards of concrete. Dealt with all kind of problems. But I've never had this problem where it's not going to be warm enough in a week to pour concrete. So I don't know what you guys do up north, but I made a little box. I got the heater running. I'm going to pour my concrete, put some kind of top on it, leave the heater running. I don't know if overnight, but for several hours. This is supposed to be high early concrete. It's supposed to set real fast. So I'm pouring because I want to move forward on this project and I'm stuck. I need to get the concrete in the hole. So we're going to pour this out, cover it up, put some kind of top on it, and we'll let this heater go. Okay, I don't know, there's a chance my form board might catch on fire. I don't think so, not with that wet concrete behind it. I'm gonna leave this for a couple hours and I'll check on it later. I don't think, even if it catches on fire, anything can happen because it's out here in the corner. Nothing around. We'll let it heat. Okay, it's a new day. It's very cold. My fingers are froze already. I just walked outside. I guess the whole country's cold. I'm gonna undo this mess, and concrete should be hard enough to set this post, which means I can put this lattice work back on this side and hang the door. Well, I won't have a door stop. And then I'm hoping I can do the same with this post. Just cut off 3 inches and put a 3-inch little concrete pedestal and get rid of this. I don't know what I'm gonna do there. But anyway, let's get a post set. Okay, so the post is back up. Got some long screws at the top. I'm gonna fix this corner. And I put the frame up for the lattice work. There was a 2x4 here. I just put a new one. There was not one here. I added one kind of because I had a joint here and just I thought it might look better. And on the bottom where that board was suffering from rot, I put a bevel. I don't know if you can see it, but I beveled both sides of this so when the rain hits it, it'll spread. And I didn't put a strip continuously because that kind of caught leaves and water up in there. So I just put a short one in the middle. Yeah, I got my measurements. I'm gonna need to go back and cut the lattice, at least the width. I hadn't checked the height yet. Yeah, so we'll cut it and put it in. And then I saw some of this hardy plank in a trash pile down the street. I'm gonna go get it, and I'm gonna cover this in this ugly corner and that top with hardy plank. Try to give it a few more good years. Yeah, okay, let's cut the lattice. I know I'm always bragging on cypress. It's kind of a local wood that we like, but this trellis lattice has been out in the weather, if not 20 years, right at 20 years. This bottom was sitting on that 2x4 treated that rotted away. And the only thing that happened to this cypress is that my little 3/4 of an inch got kind of fuzzy. I cut it 3/4 of an inch and I broke this little piece, got caught in a saw blade. But that's amazing. I'm gonna put it right back up, turn it upside down, and get another 20 years out of it. Okay, we're back. This is a little confusing. I added a 2x4 here that wasn't here before. That's 1.5 inches. This was here before. I cut 3/4 of an inch off of it and it fit perfect. Do you think I moved that post that much? Maybe it's further out than it used to be. But I think it was flush with this one. I think it used to be flush with that one, but maybe it was flush with the other one. Anyway, it's level now. Maybe it wasn't level before. So, okay, so we're gonna take this post down and I guess pour a little concrete pad for it and hope I can cut 3 inches off the bottom and it'll be savable. Yeah, I gotta knock off all those little boards first. So I rehung the door on the new, apparently relocated corner post, and then I beat this 4x6 around until the door shuts nicely on it. Pretty good fit. So I'm gonna trace this on the ground with a pencil real good before I take it down, so I'll know where to put my new concrete pad. It's got to be right there. It's gonna be kind of particular. Okay, yesterday poured down rain all day yesterday and it was cold, and I know I shouldn't be complaining about the cold because most of the country is getting hammered, but it's cold. I don't like this cold stuff. Anyway, I poured this concrete 2 days ago with the heater on it for a while, and I need to get all the junk off of it and get the form off. And this is the post that's 3 inches shorter than it was, and I'm putting it upside down. We need to set it and hopefully it'll work with the door and be a good door jamb. Now this existing post, which again does nothing because the framing is into the original framing of the house. This was just added after the fact. It had swung out, and I don't know why. It was way over here. I tried to push it back, and it was just kind of bouncy. It kept coming, so I jacked as far as I kind of could. Ended up pushing this wall back an inch. Hopefully it'll spring back. And I put a little brass or bronze angle bracket and a plastic anchor and a screw. So let's see if it's gonna stay put. Okay, well this wall came back. All right, well, it's not perfect, but it's 2 inches better than it was. Okay, now we got to lift up the header because this one won't quite fit, but I think I can jack it a little bit and get it on there. So day before yesterday, when it wasn't raining, I went down the street. Somebody throwing out some hardy plank. I wasn't really planning on doing this, but it worked out perfect. Covered up all my ugly beams in this super ugly joint, and I even put a canted piece on the top to shed rain. I got like a little 1x under that far edge to hold it up. So this is probably not 100% waterproof, but it might be, but it's 100% better than it was. And then I bought a piece of flashing to bring this out and over. And I cut it, and of course I cut my finger because that's what happens when I cut flashing. I'm gonna bring it up there and put some screws in it, and that is pretty much the structure. All right, so I cheated over here. I didn't rebuild louvers, just they're such a pain, and nobody ever sees this. It doesn't matter. So I just put a piece of the hardy plank there, and it's screwed into this little deal here. And on this one, I just shoved it tight, so the hardy plank is squeezed between the plaster, the house plaster, and this little strip, and then it's screwed. So that's a done deal. Now, all of this work I did, it doesn't amount to a hill of beans. It was all cosmetic. Nothing was going to fall down. It really didn't matter, but I tell you what does matter. I got screws popping out of my roof, and I don't know why. I got one there, and 2, 3 of them. 4 of them. So that means the roof's leaking, and that's a big deal. So I don't know why. I'm gonna put some silicone on those and run them back down and add a different one in a different place where these are popping. I mean, all over the whole roof, no screws are popping. It's just this bottom board. I got a feeling maybe the board split or something. I don't know. It'd be real hard to repair that if I let it go. So I'm gonna replace these screws with silicone, and then this project is done. Then I got a lot of cleanup to do. Okay, I don't know what's going on. These were the 2 that were backed out. I put some silicone on them and ran them back, and they seem to hold real well. And this is a new one, and it held real well. I don't know what's going on. Okay, I'm gonna go down and catch the last ones down there. All right, I don't know. All the ones that were poking up, I screwed back down and they all held. Put silicone on all of them, except this one at the top was all the way out. It was laying down here, so it didn't hold. And I put another one next to it. It didn't hold. Probably there's a rotten spot in the wood. And I put this 3rd one and it held. So I don't know. Somebody can clue me in on why one strip would pop screws. If it was nails, it'd be one thing. These are screws. So anyway, I think I got it under control now, but I'm gonna keep my eye on this every few months to see what's going on here. It's a little confusing. Well, we're done. This siding will last pretty much forever if I can keep little mini hose from breaking it. This trim is gonna last probably 20 years like the first trim because it's just treated. These louvers, I don't think they'll rot, but they might split and twist. I don't really know. This post is gonna last forever now that I got the bottom of it out of the mud where it was. I put the little splice on top. This trellis, I don't know, it was good for 20 years first go round, and now it's gonna drain better because I got this sloped and I don't have the little boards continuous. I got it where the water can drain out better. This post, I don't know how long it'll last, but it'll last long time now. It should be long lived now that it's on a concrete pedestal and off of the damp concrete ground. The same with this one. That little filler is going to last forever. So up there is going to last better because I've got flashing where I never had it before. The water was just free to come down on top of that door and that beam and everything. So why didn't I just go to Home Depot and buy new stuff? I'm not poor. I could have done that. I don't know. Just something in me. I have a drive to make do with what I had. All these look brand new, but they came off the side of the road. Somebody finished the fence and threw out about 6 of them. Like I say, the hardy plank was on the side of the road. So, yeah, I don't know why I'm such a cheapskate. I guess I got it from my daddy. I don't know. Anyway, I hope you learned something watching this video. You probably didn't, but anyway, thanks for watching.